Thank you very much for having me today. I'm really looking forward to coming to the Canterbury Library soon to do an author talk on my new debut novel, Where in All the World, published by Bateman Books. Oh, yeah, by the fire with a glass of wine when it's raining outside. Yeah, but in reality, look, it's about 20 minutes before I fall asleep in bed each night, and it takes me a long time to get through a book, to be honest, these days. But probably the best place I ever used to read a book was when I used to commute to work, and it was about an hour-long commute, and it was just absolutely perfect. You crawled up in the corner next to the window, you could ignore the person next to you, and just immerse for a full solid hour. I just got through so many books that way. I do want to say that I saw on Instagram yesterday that was Book Hub put a post together, and they said for 2026, you know, your New Year's resolution needs to be read more New Zealand authors, and I'm totally behind that. The Coalition of Books and Book Hub, and they're just doing this big push now to get New Zealand authors out there, New Zealand fiction out there, New Zealand non-fiction. There's so much good stuff. It's a crime if people aren't reading it. So, aside from Hogwarts, obviously. I've always had a passion for Thomas Hardy's Wessex. I've read all his books, I love them to death, and I always thought that sort of really, I'm into cottagecore and that farmhouse, that sort of orchard, woodland thing is just, I love it. But I always thought that the best place would be Farmer Boldwood's. From far from the madding crowd, Farmer Boldwood, and he has this beautiful sort of mansion on this massive, great big property. He's doing really well, and he invites Bathsheba, who's the heroine of the book, to live with him, and she says no. Idiot. So it's a historical fiction, but it's inspired by a real person, a real event, a woman who lived in New Zealand in the 1890s, who is seduced by a rogue explorer, a man at the time who was called Ewart Grogan, and he was famous for traversing the continent of Africa on foot in order to win her hand in marriage, and she marries him for that reason, but it turns out to be all a bit of a lie. He is a absolute narcissist, and she's put through all kinds of trials, but it's quite an explorative novel. It's set in New Zealand and travels to England and Africa and back again. It's a journey, literally but also metaphorically, and it's written from the perspective of someone who lived at the period, so it's quite immersive in terms of Victorian culture and Victorian language and all those kinds of things. Apart from that, I've never taken a selfie, maybe. Look, I don't know how many there are out there, but I just want them to know that I thank you and cherish every single one of you, and that feel free to reach out. I'm always open to hearing from readers and answering any questions, and sharing my experiences of writing and all those sorts of things with readers. So if there's anything I want them to know, is that despite having no contact details in my book, it's not because I'm not interested in them. I absolutely am, and hopefully I'll get to meet some of them when we all get together soon. Why should they come to that talk? Is there wine and cheese maybe? I don't know.
We'll see if there's budget.
But apart from that, look, I think it's always great to catch up with other people who are into books and into reading, and I'll be talking not just about myself or this book, but also the background behind it and the bit of history that perhaps not many people know about. She was a magnificent person. I'd love to get her story out there and share it with other like-minded people who would enjoy that kind of thing, and I'll probably give away a book at the end of it.
A signed copy like the one you're holding?
Sans the sticker,
yep.
But definitely a signed one. Oh, and a bookmark.
Pretty.
I know, Bateman Books spared no expense.